Cabin 13 Productions.
That it's been out 3 weeks, and I think they said each week it's made more than the last, which hasn't happened in the 3-week period since fucking E.T.
Really? How could someone who claims oh, well, I love this person, this is the only person for me, how do they sit there and make a wish taking someone's free will away from them? Because that's ultimately what the wish was. It's like,
if we're just gonna make a recommendation, truly recommend this movie so much. It is such a great film.
I'm such a loser, sweating God on the worst.
welcome back to the Woodsmen podcast. We're your hosts, Brent Murphy.
And Joey Rucker.
And we're back. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
I want to know how many episodes we have done where our intro was name, and we're back. That specific wording. I want to.
It's probably every single episode. Yeah.
And we're back, everybody.
Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Well, we're trying a little bit of a new format. We're trying to get through some things a little bit quicker because people told us that the housekeeping goes a little bit long.
Our bad.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I mean,
so
it does
we're
put
gonna
into
get this.
perspective when our normal amount of time averages to about an hour and a half of content, and the last
And
episode's whatever
the
was 30
half
minutes
has covered. Yeah.
Yeah.
The half is covered. So yeah, we're just gonna run through everything. Joey has some stuff to say, so
Yes.
we'll lead off with you.
Well, as per usual, there's no Patreon. I hope everybody was excited to see that, or at least not disappointed. We're thinking about doing something else in order to get our asses in motion to get the Patreon out. We're planning on doing hopefully a new schedule. We mentioned something like this last time, but we're kind of switching it up a bit. We're going to try in the future to do instead of doing a week, every single week an episode of the Woodsmen, we're going to try and do 1 week Woodsmen, the next week Patreon episode, and then vice versa going forward, just so that we're not getting sad that we don't post a Woodsman episode every single week. I think we've been very regularly for the last 2 months been uploading Woodsman episodes bi-weekly anyway. So I think this kind of just works out to keep pushing out more content, but keeping the schedule that's been working for us, giving us a week break off of a full episode, but also putting something out on those weeks where a full episode isn't out. So I don't know. We don't know if there's going to be a Patreon starting next week, but we are planning on starting the schedule of recording and uploading 1 week Woodsman, 1 week Patreon going forward. So any of you who are a fan of our Patreon, back when we were posting on it a little while ago, Back to the Cabin is the name of the show, where we just get unhinged, we have fun, we get loose, we don't have to really sit down and focus on one thing. We can do literally anything we want over there. So if you want some unhinged Woodsman, that's the place to go, back at our cabin. But yeah, that's kind of the update for Patreon as far as that goes. There's not much else to say other than just look forward to that. We hope. We're going to try. We swear. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. Yeah, we're just trying to get to the point where we can upload continuously. If we can't, we're gonna bring out some content that everyone can listen to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We've been a little bit lax on everything, just because we've, life gets in the way, and we have our own things going on, and we've gotten to the point where it's not fun unless we actually want to get here. We actually want to do things. So that makes a big difference, like, in our lives, for sure. This last week, I wasn't feeling too well, and that's pretty much the only reason why we didn't put an episode out.
You were dying, dude. You were dying.
Yeah, I was not feeling good at all whatsoever. I had to leave work early. Had to die just a little bit for a couple of days, and that shit affects your entire life, not just your work life, apparently. So that definitely has a lot to do with it. But we hope you guys enjoyed the Bermuda Triangle episode. We did do what we normally did for a lot of our, older episodes. We did a lot of research. We did a lot of time writing. We did all that kind of stuff, and we're pretty proud of it. But this episode, it's going to be a little bit more lax, just because, again, we had shit going on during the past couple of weeks. But apologies for me looking down at my phone. I'm currently trying to find our normal shit that we need to. Yeah, it's great.
Well,
it's
yeah,
great.
we are this week, as my co-host mentioned, we're keeping it a bit relaxed this week. Nothing too crazy. We enjoyed that one episode we did a couple episodes back where we kind of just broke down what we thought about Spider-Man and what was going to be coming up in the Spider-Man movie. And we're going to kind of do that now, where we go back and do, like, what's it called? I don't know if we officially made this a theme of our weekly episodes, but like a movie review week. I don't know if we're back
movie
to that
night.
week, or if we passed it.
Yeah,
But
it's movie night. It's movie night.
we mentioned in that
so.
episode how much we love movies and how much we would love to talk about ones we see or rate ones that are going to be coming up. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to have an episode regarding a movie we just saw. I don't want to spoil too much. It was a horror movie, and we both, spoiler alert, loved it. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, stories, anything like that, you can head over to cabin13productions@gmail.com. And if you have any, again, questions, comments, concerns about this show specifically, you can always hit up the Woodsmen pod@gmail.com. We're always open. We're always trying to answer emails, all that kind of stuff. So if you're into it, definitely check us out. Definitely leave us an email. You can also talk to us on Instagram, all that kind of stuff as well. So, and Joey can let you know about all that. I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
Our socials are at Woodsman Pod. That's our Instagram. And is that what you were telling me to do? I was not listening. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief.
Nah, you did great, sweetie. You did.
Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared, so I don't have the script up. So yeah, Woodsman Pod.
Other
on
than
Instagram.
Woodsman Pod on Instagram, you can also hit us up on anything else. But lastly, you can also subscribe to our Patreon, and that's I hope you guys realize I'm reading this off my phone, so it's gonna be
Please
pretty
download
crazy, but
and
yeah.
rate our podcast for those of our listeners as well. Don't forget to do all that stuff.
Yeah. Go tell them, Joey. Where do they
You can find us on all podcasting
subscribe
platforms. As far as our audio goes, you can find our videos obviously exclusively on our YouTube channel, the Woodsmen Podcast. But every little bit helps. So rating us 5 stars, it's really no harm out of your day. You don't even have to mean it. You just need to do it.
Yeah, just say this podcast is cool. You don't
Yeah.
even have to
Every little
give
bit
us
helps.
a real. Yeah, just leave a comment. You know, you don't have to do a lot. We work hard, so. But yeah, if you're trying to find us on Patreon or anything like that, we're trying to put out episodes. We have talked about it right before this session. Maybe do a regular episode once a week. Do a Patreon.
Yeah.
Do another regular episode once a week. Yeah, we're just trying to find, with how work and everything is going, like
We're trying to find the balance.
how we can keep going, without being too burnt out and being too burnt out on information, all that kind of stuff. So, but if you're interested, you want to support the channel, you can definitely go to Back to the Cabin at patreon.com/The Woodsman Podcast. And you can get all the special stuff. So,
yeah.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's unless I'm incorrect, I think that's all the housekeeping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, without further ado, we have a movie review to do.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Stupid dude.
Fucking rhymed everything right now. That's
What can I
crazy.
say? Anyway,
You're just
so
a lyrical guy.
I'm a lyrical genius, dude.
Yeah.
That's why you should go check out my songs on
At Pie Master J.
at Pie
on
Master
everything.
J. No, they're not on the streaming platforms. But if you want to see like 4 of them, they're on my YouTube channel. You can find them over there
At Pie Master J.
at Pie Master J. Everything else, like Apple Music and all that stuff, I got rid of, but it's fine. Anyway, on to the show.
Wow.
So I mentioned that we are doing a movie review today. We've done a few of these, I think. I think we did Spider-Man. We did that Mother episode in our Forgotten Mother movie in our lost footage of Woodsman episodes that you cannot find anymore. And I gotta believe we reviewed another movie, but I don't know what it would have been. But anyway.
I feel, reviewed a lot of movies, like, regardless. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it makes sense.
today, we're actually reviewing a movie that is like still currently out. I think when this episode comes out on Sunday, it'll still be in theaters. I don't know if it'll still be blowing up, but currently it's blowing up like continuously more every week.
Yeah.
We saw the horror movie Obsession. Great film. I mean, I've been seeing so much of it pop up on my timeline now ever since we saw it. Like my whole feed has gotten infested with all these Obsession clips and behind the scenes and interviews and stuff. Truly, before we get into our thoughts and opinions about the film, if we're just going to make a recommendation, truly recommend this movie so much. It is such a great film. If you like having like just the adrenaline and the fear of like not knowing what the hell is going on, you're going to want to go see this film. It's great. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I think you know more about, I mean, I know the basics, but you might, because I think you were telling me more about some of the info about like the director and what's interesting about him and how he's connected to it all. And Brent and I, you want to mention how we first saw content by this current individual who made the film?
Definitely. By the way, the director of this entire movie. His name is Curry Barker, and he's obviously a new guy
Yeah.
to mainstream, horror, all that kind of stuff. But when Joey and I first discovered him, it was with a short film called The Chair.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who doesn't know, which, I mean, it's probably a lot because I don't think we've discussed a lot about where we stand with like YouTube horror and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talk about it all the time, but I don't think we've really kind of talked about it on film, all that kind of stuff. So we used to listen to stuff like creepypastas and short horror stories, all that kind of stuff. Since we were super young, probably like freshman year of high school, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do think it was high school
But,
when we started.
Yeah,
watching all those.
high school we started watching a lot of there's a lot of student films, there's a lot of high school films, all that kind of.
A lot of it in the beginning was like you said, the creepy. It was just audio. There wasn't even videos.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
we would
yeah.
watch back.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like I think the first one that stuck out to me, even though in hindsight it's not the best horror story ever, was Jeff the Killer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a
We
classic.
started
It's a classic.
Yeah, we started listening to that kind of stuff on YouTube, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" But that kind of broadened our horizons to like, hey, there's a lot more going on than just these cheesy films, cheesy, short stories. But Curry Barker made a short film called The Chair. And I mean, we were definitely in college. I don't think we watched any of that.
Was fairly recent, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't think we had watched that outside of college, but we were like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty cool. And it was really
We had to have
unsettling.
watched it recently.
Yeah, because
dude.
I think it came out in
only 3
2020.
years ago.
Really?
Earlier,
2023.
Yes, I can get you for sure. It was
2023.
2023. March of 2023.
2023. Yeah. So we ended up watching that, and that was at a time where I have a feeling we were watching a lot of different things in context to like, oh, well, we love horror, we love storytelling, we love the way that people integrate CGI, how they integrate practical effects, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we just kind of got on a wave where we're like, oh yeah, let's watch horror short films.
We watched a lot that night.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't even like horror. I mean, we were watching stuff like Alone that you can find on Hulu and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We were watching stuff like that. We were even watching Disney movies at one point where, like we had a very big collective of movies, and film. But horror stories really kind of did it in for us. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I think us sitting there and we were like, oh yeah, we've had a long night. Let's watch a horror short, or like let's watch something that's very creepy and analyze it,
Yeah.
And
we
did
were
that,
in a phase for
so.
sure. We liked all kinds of, like, again, we were starting to progress more into the horror genre in general, but also just like the unknown or mystery genre too. Like we were really captivated by stories and films that like had to do like had that moment of like what the fuck kind of like situation.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah.
we really loved we were just talking about this actually when we saw Obsession. It was the I'm thinking of ending things. That
Oh
movie,
yeah. Yeah.
we were into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Where like we were just we were sat guessing the whole time. There's
Yeah.
nothing better than like when you're watching a movie and you're so invested in it that you continuously talk about what's going on and you're trying to figure it out the whole time rather than just like kind of having it spoon fed to you like I think a lot of movies do these days. I think that's actually, in my opinion, one of the problems with nowadays horror. I think a lot of it is just like very obvious spooky creature or force of nature is attacking something and you kind of know the whole time. It's more that like and it happened a lot actually I think because of YouTube as well with the
Yeah.
blowing up of like Five Nights at Freddy's because that was also around the same time we were like listening to creepy pastas and stuff. I think Five Nights
Yeah.
at Freddy's blew up this trend of jump scare horror where it was just like in your face, try and make you like your body shake because of like a surprise rather than actual unsettling bottom of the stomach, like ew kind of feeling. And I think
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely like still not a horrible version of horror, but like I think it definitely got
It's
washed
its
out after a
own-
while.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of horror is definitely its own kind of horror, you know. Um, jump scares can only go so far
Mm-hmm.
to make a film good, you know. You have so many aspects of film where it's like, okay, you have the writing, you have the directing, you have the producing, you have the actors and how they work together. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. You know, you can have a budget of $1 million, and that just doesn't equate to like what a film, especially like like Obsession does, where it's like they had a
Well, and
budget
they had
of
a
less than 800,000, and they made
Where
a
are they
movie
at
that
now?
grossed in the first weekend of $100 million. You know, like
I also
you
was
just
watching a video
can't.
today about that, and they said that it's been out what 3 weeks, and I think they
Yeah,
said
yeah.
each week it's made more than the last, which hasn't. And I don't know if you've heard this statistic yet. That sequence of numbers hasn't
Yeah.
happened in the 3 week period since fucking ET. Like
Really?
it blowing up as much as it
Really?
did
Oh my
in
God,
percentage
that's
wise,
crazy.
going from their budget to how much they made opening week, but then like going 15 times more than that week 2,
Yeah.
and then going I
Yeah.
think 10% more than that week 3 hasn't been done to that level since like ET came out. And I think that was what in the 80s? Maybe.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
like an 80s film, early 90s. I mean, it's insane. Especially being someone who's super into, you know, cinema and
There's no
all
way
that
that's
type
real.
of stuff.
It says they've
Um,
made it to 161 million worldwide.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I
dude.
mean, in the first week they hit 100 mil. So
wild.
yeah. And again, you go into it with they had a budget of 700,000, 800,000. They did the movie within like $700 and I think $60,000 or something like that.
Mhm.
The main girl in it, she got roughly around like $20,000 to be in it. And it is such a memorable performance that you're just like,
Oh,
you're like,
that girl
shit, she has to be
deserves-
the new Scream Queen. She just
she
has to
deserves
be
an
it,
award for
you
sure.
know? She did so well. The practical effects in the movie in general, which I know we both have such a high standard for CGI versus practical.
Mhm.
And I think that practical effects were just like, all of this made sense.
They were great. They were
You know,
great.
all of this just fit perfectly within the line of what the movie is in general. And no, I don't know. It was such a really good, because I don't even consider it horror. I just find it a uncomfortable thriller, if that makes sense. I mean, it's a very like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
horror aspects, but like, was it a horror movie? Maybe not. I just don't see it as like a horror
Again,
movie in general.
I think, in my opinion, it is a horror movie. It's just hard to label it that because the horror genre has gotten so like washed out over the years of
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
kinds of different ways of doing it. You can have ghosts, you can have ghouls, you can have demon possession, you can have just like, the undead. Like it can be all sorts of random things. But like I think this one, and honestly, I think the only reason I consider it a horror was because this is one of the first movies that I've seen in a while that I truly had moments where like I I actually kind of felt like I wanted to leave the theater. Like there were
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
we saw that movie recently. I think you said it was called Undertone.
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Undertone.
Undertone also had
Yeah.
its good moments of unsettling and eerie moments, but like it just Obsession picked it up to a whole other level of making me like grab my chair, like clench
No,
my
oh,
shirt.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just felt so
100%.
uncomfortable and so
Yeah.
afraid of what was going to happen next. There were scenes where I was like, something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen, and no one's talking about it. I know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
and then it did. I don't know if we're doing spoilers in this podcast, but
Hey,
until we do,
we'll name it movie night obsession, so people know.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, and I think that I haven't had a scary movie. I mean, I remember The Chair when we watched it. I think we watched that one
Yeah.
out in your garage, right? Was that the one? Out
Yeah,
there? Or did we
yeah,
watch
and
that in
it was
in
like
your
around
living
when
room?
it first came out too.
Yeah,
I think it had to have been like
there was like one
the
particular
same year,
scene, if
the
I
same
remember
year.
correctly, where like we both went, "Oh my god!" Like we freaked out at this
Yeah,
one scene.
yeah, because
And
it was something so unexpected, and it was something so real. We're just like, what the fuck do you do? Like, as a person in general, like, what do you do when you have some shit like that come up, And
yeah,
and the chair has been out long enough for you guys to have spoilers. So I'm gonna spoil it. I don't give a fuck. The weird, the yelling and the shaking part next to the bed. That was one of those.
Oh, that's right.
Where
Now
it
it's coming
just
back to me.
It hits you in the heart.
Your heart drops.
where you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck was that? And it only lasts for like 10 seconds of the short film. And then it just goes back to like normal question mark. Like it just goes back to normal. And you're just left there puzzling, like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like what?
I think
what did I just see right now, like on film? And when you watch Obsession and you compare it to The Chair, the way it's filmed, the way it's shot, even when you go to people like Joey and I, where we work with editing, we work with all this kind of stuff, you can see a clear, like a very clear reliance on that. You know, you can see like, oh, well, what they did in Obsession is the same thing they did in The Chair, just at a bigger format. You know, like they had the money, they had the time. I'm sure with studios like that, they're like, yeah, we want to roughly go with like a hour and a half to like hour and 45 minute, you know, film. You can clearly see the just everything having to do with the cinematography and just stuff like that. I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words because, you know, you see something like that and then you try to compare it and you're like, yeah, it's a very big comparison, but it's also so drastically different that you cannot put into words how,
as someone who has seen The Chair,
wild it is.
It feels like basically Curry Barker.
Yeah, Curry
it just
Barker.
feels like he took everything that worked for The Chair and expanded upon it and found how to do it like even better than before. And I think one of the reasons it was so well done, I think I told you a little bit about this, like you and Isaac and Alana when we saw it. I think one of the reasons it's so good at being unsettling compared to other horror movies these days, because I think before Undertone, the last horror movie I saw in theaters, unless you count that movie.
Well, and
where
that
they
was
were together,
both of us. Yeah, that was. I
think the last one I saw was Boogeyman, and that one was good. But again, very obvious horror monster that's gonna kill people. I think what made this one work so well as the way they did it in The Chair, was it's a type of horror where you could see it happening today. You could see it happening in real life.
Oh, like 100%.
There's an absolute realism to it. There's not like when we watch movies and read books about like ghosts or demonic possession, it's not to say that those don't exist, but when you go about your day, you don't see those all the time. But I see crazy people all the time. I see people who like talk to themselves or are confused, you know, and I'm not, you know, and when you get into, what was her character's name? Nikki
Freaky
in this
Nikki,
movie,
bro.
Freaky Nikki, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to just applaud the actress, dude.
The actress was
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some of the best acting I've seen in a while.
I don't even see a normal actress. I mean, and you can get like chops for like, say, just anybody. I don't see anybody having the opportunity where they're like, hey, you gotta act fucking crazy, but at the same time you also have to remember like there's a paranormal aspect, there's, you know, like you just can't help this kind of stuff. And you got someone who is like, I understand the assignment, I'm gonna make this the most unsettling.
Yes.
Because again, it's not even horror. It is a full unsettling, like, what the fuck is going on? You know,
you put yourself in the main character's shoes, dude. If I was like,
you're like, okay, no, I can understand like where this is all coming from. And then it takes that level of credibility where it's like, okay, I can see where this is going. And then it raises it by like tenfold. And it just makes it so, like, so ridiculous. Like, and you see it and you're like, oh, okay, like again, Joey and I both saw the movie together, you know, and when we saw it, it was my second time, so I had a little bit more time to sit there and like kind of build
that's
up, like
right,
like what did I understand from the first time versus the second time, and
I would
you
have
go through
loved
it.
to see your reaction the first time. I would
The
have.
first time, I covered my eyes on certain parts.
It's
And
horrible.
like I'm a person who loves the horror genre. Like I'm not a person who's like, no, that's too demonic for me. You know, like like one of those people where it's like, no, I can't watch that type of film. No, I love it. I love the internal dialogue. I love the acting. I love the directing with that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And the first time I watched it, I was sitting there in the theater with my eyes over my eyes, my hands over my eyes, where I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is like, there's no
Yeah.
way. Like, there's no way. And seeing it a second time, there's so many things that you can dissect with the entire movie where you're just like how? Like
Yeah.
like what the fuck is actually going on, you know? And it's just one of those movies where you're like, you know, it's just so well done on all fronts. And again, like Joey said, I mean, the actress, phenomenal.
Her name is Indy
Indy.
Navarrete.
Yeah, and she's phenomenal in the movie. I mean, she, like, I don't even know any other words to describe besides phenomenal. I mean, she just did so well in a movie where you did not think that this level of uncertainty, this level of, are we gonna get the fear factor like out of this? The level of, like, is her acting chops up to par? You know, I mean, the film itself was made under $800,000.
Which is
And
incredible.
we're looking at from $800,000, and they filmed it within 2 months. They finished the filming within 2 months, which is also crazy, you know, for a movie. When you look at James Cameron's The Odyssey, this shit's been going on since what, like 2004, or I'm sorry, not 2004. 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
We're in 26 right now, you
Yeah.
know? So you have years. You have years of production. We're just now getting trailers and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a movie like this where it's like, yeah, we built this on a low budget. The guy who directed it is a YouTuber who makes comedy sketches. This is not a guy who is known. This is not a guy who is known for, like, oh yeah, he makes like scary movies. He makes scary short films. He has two scary short films
a lot
out.
of his content
Everything else is
comedy.
comedy. Yeah. You know, you have someone like that. And then you have people like Indy. You have people like his friend that played Ian.
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. People like that
wasn't
where it's like,
sure
hey, I'm
how I
gonna
felt
take a chance, you know, and
about the main guy in the beginning.
yeah.
I guess his name is Michael Johnston, the guy who played Bear. I wasn't sure at first. I was like, Yeah, I don't know what it was about the acting in like maybe the first couple scenes, but I was like worried that it was going to feel um kind of like just a guy putting on a character. But
Yeah.
truthfully, and
Yeah.
I watched an interview about this, so it's funny that I'll mention this after. But you know what scene actually kind of roped me into Bear's acting in the movie? It was still pretty early on. It was, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. When he initially makes the wish in the film, and then Nikki immediately changes her demeanor. She comes back
Yeah.
to the car and she starts like kind of questioning herself. You can see kind of like Nikki and freaky Nikki kind of battling it almost in the beginning to try
I
and like
love
take
that
like keep
you.
control.
I love that you call the entity Freaky Nikki.
Freaky Nikki, dude.
It's just so much easier. But yeah,
It's helpful, right?
yeah.
During that clip, there was just a way that the guy who plays Bear, like his voice, he basically did a line that was like, what the fuck are you doing? But
Yeah,
I am not putting it into perspective. He did it in such a way that I feel like if I saw someone tweaking out or being weird, that nervous, like confused laughter, he
Like
did
that-
it so subtly.
Yeah,
Where I
it's
was like,
yeah,
he doesn't know what's going on. And again, I was going to mention the interview. I saw an interview today where he was saying that one of the scenes that made it into the film that wasn't part of it was just, it was one of those laughing scenes when he was laughing at Nikki for how weird she was acting, because she had done something off script that was just wacky and weird to help with the creepiness, and he actually did kind of like nervous laugh, like what's
He's
going
like,
on?
What the fuck?
And it just it made it in because he was
Yeah.
so confused, dude. I don't know why that scene sticks out to me, but oh my god. And Cooper did great too. The guy who plays Ian,
yeah,
he's in all of
for
Curry
sure.
Barker's skits, the comedy skits you were talking about on
Yeah.
YouTube. He's
Yeah.
in almost all of them, and he's also hilarious. Both of them truly are comedy geniuses. I don't know how. I remember when their videos were blowing up, I was
Yeah.
surprised. It was kind of like Key and Peele, dude. I remember when they were blowing
yeah,
up, I was like,
100%.
how is there
Yeah.
still more I haven't seen? How are they
Yeah.
putting out this many videos and they're
they've
all
been just
funny?
they've just been at it for so long that you don't really understand the gravity of the situation of like how they've been doing this kind of stuff and they've been writing all this kind of stuff. And then it takes something like Peele's Get Out. You know, you have a movie like that and you're like, holy shit, a fucking comedy person came up with a movie that's that unsettling with the hint of humor. You know, like it didn't stray away from the humor aspect. It didn't stray away from the comedy. It wasn't one of those like, oh, it's so serious that you can't believe, you know, like you
Yeah.
can't believe either this person directed it and wrote it. It just had such a good blend. And even with, and I know you don't agree because you don't like how it turned out, Peele writing Nope. It was the same thing. You had so many aspects of like, oh, that's fucking unsettling. You know, like that is an unsettling thing. But then you also have a balance of like that humor that like there's no fucking way
Yeah.
it's a fucking spaceship, you know, over this house. You know, like there's subtle moments where it's like, okay, yeah, it's supposed to be a horror, but there's also a good amount of like that comedy aspect that kind of makes it its own, you know? And
yeah, I think the thing that
I think
lost
this
me
movie-
with that
this movie
was-
did the same thing, I feel. I mean, there's many parts in the movie where you're like, oh, that was a funny quip. Or like, oh, that was a funny way of like saying that. But then you have instances where you're like, what the fuck? You know, like, I mean, there's so many instances with the movie where you just can't rationalize it, and you can't deal
What was
with it
your
in a
favorite
normal
part?
way, you know? Favorite part of the movie had to be, it's so hard because there's so many.
It's hard. There's a lot of great moments.
My first moment where I was like, oh, this is not a comedy horror movie, was her saying, what's the verdict, cat? And I was like,
Oh God,
because in my mind, I instantly knew, like, oh, there's no fucking way. You know, like it was one of those, like, it wasn't even scary. It was just like a psychological, like, there's no fucking way she did that shit. You know, that was the first instance where I was like, okay, this is going from like a low-key comedy horror to like, oh, this is very unsettling, you know, type of thing. Second one had to be in the restaurant where he asks her, you know, like, well, did your dad? Yeah, exactly. You know, did your, you know, does your dad actually have cancer? And it's just the facial expression, period. You know, like it doesn't even have to do with the dialogue, but it has to do with the fact that you take a person who's making a normal face, who's having a normal conversation, slowly warp their face to just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no. You know, it just, something about that scene got me feeling a certain type of way. The backwards walking was the I think I think the backwards walking had to get me at the worst possible stage, like the worst possible stage, because I was just like,
yeah,
there's no
it's
way.
funny. I've
You know,
seen
like,
clips
there's
of the
just
backwards
no
walk
way.
since we saw the movie. I think, as much as I do love that scene, I think specifically the backwards walk only works the first time you see it.
Oh,
Because
no,
you won't
when
be
you watch
ready
it
for
again,
it.
you're like, oh, it's kind of like,
It's scary.
you
It's
kind
still
of expect
unsettling,
it.
but it's
but
not
the first
same.
time you see it,
Yeah.
you're just like, what the actual fuck
Yeah.
just happened right now? You know, like, it's just one of those scenes where you're like, nope. Just,
I'm surprised
nope,
you're not bringing
nope.
up the bedroom scene.
The first bedroom scene.
The first one with
no. The uncanny valley makeup. Yeah.
that one's horrible.
That one was
That one's
terrifying.
like, because that one also plays into the real world fear of just having someone standing in your room. We've talked about this in some of our other spooky episodes.
I think we talked about it with the black-eyed children as well.
Yeah, the feeling of just having
that,
somebody watching you, but you can't fully see them. No, that's horrible.
Well, and especially since Indy had one of those makeup artists to do the uncanny valley makeup, to where, like, when you see her in the dark, it's so unnatural,
so
but so real, where you're just like,
I thought
I
they
don't
had
even
put
understand. Like,
some kind
I don't
of
even
prosthetic
understand
makeup on her, but they didn't. It was just like
the makeup.
normal makeup.
It was just the makeup,
which just shows you like how far makeup can go in like bringing along a horror aspect to a movie. You can do so much with so
Yeah.
little, and that is what this movie proved.
Oh no,
It's crazy.
100%. And I mean, again, you take Curry Barker's version of horror with the chair, because again, I don't think anyone gives him the credit that he like truly deserves when it comes to like horror in general. This is a guy who's only made comedy skits. This is not a guy where he was like, oh, I'm graduating from film school. This is the type of movie I want to do, and I'm gonna go for it. No, this is the same guy who made the meme of just like, oh, the pool says no clothes. It looks like all of us got to take our clothes off. Oh
I think we can
man,
keep our shorts on.
you know, like we can keep our shorts on, but like, yeah, no, like, you
I
know,
really wanted to
we
keep
gotta
my
keep
clothes
our
on,
clothes
but
on.
I can't.
Yeah, this is the same guy who makes that kind of scene that also makes something like a chair, which I mean, again, me and Joey have talked about it like a lot during this episode, but it's like the chair fucked me up. I don't know about you, bro,
It says award winning on YouTube.
but that shit fucked me up. Yeah, they won like 4 or 5 awards
yeah.
for that short film. You know, I mean, it was just one of those where it's like, oh, that's fucking crazy. And then people saw it and they were like, hey, we think you have the potential to do something great with this film. They gave him the budget, and then you just fucking did it, you know? And
Yeah.
he made a great film. He made a great film. And you know, good for him. You know,
After
good
having
for
time
him.
to
Good
reflect,
for all of the actors and actresses. I mean, like
what
it
would
was
you
such
rate
a
the
good
movie?
film.
out of 10. And you
I
can
would
use
have
the
to-
point system too.
Out of 10? Out of 10 or what? Okay.
Out of 10.
I would rate the film an 8.5 to 8.7, which is generous because I don't have a lot of 10s. I have very few movies where I'm like,
Yeah.
that was a 10. And I rated that because it's not a movie that hasn't been done yet by any means. You know, like the Obsession type of movie,
Yeah.
you know. But it has to do with how the acting went and how the script was written, the practical effects. I mean, like the movie as a whole, it's just like a $7,000 movie is not a lot of money. You know, like it's just not a lot of money.
Well,
And
it's
to
like you said,
produce a
it
film that's
shows
just
you don't need all
so
this CGI bullshit to make a movie
Yeah.
good. You don't need explosions and
No,
CGI
not at all.
schlop, dude. Like they were
Yeah,
making banger
not at
movies
all.
back in the day with just puppets and handmade craft to make
Yeah,
good films back
yeah.
in the day. You don't need all this AI or computer generated bullshit. Not to say there are not movies that
Fucking
utilize
hundreds
it and
of
do
thousands
well.
of dollars versus, you know,
Like I still think
computer
the Avatar
generated.
films are some of the prettiest films of all time in the use of
Yeah.
CGI.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, but
because they cared.
Yeah.
They cared, you know, they wanted to make it great. And now it's just like CGI is just slop now, you know, and I hate to be that guy where it's like, oh, yeah, you know, fucking CGI is the worst. It's not even that. It's like you have to do it right. You have to
Yeah.
have a goal in mind. You have to have like, well, you physically can't do this without practical effects, so you have to go into the CGI world. That makes sense. With a movie like this, the practical effects were just unmatched. there
And
were
wouldn't
so
you say
many
that the
parts
CGI
of the
these
movie
days
where you're
have
like,
actually
fuck.
been going backwards
Oh,
in quality?
100.
Like we've
yeah,
had movies back in the
100%.
day
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
CGI, like what, Pirates of the Caribbean, the CGI in those
Pirates
movies,
of the
some of the
Caribbean
best I've ever seen.
and Avatar, the best CGI you can get.
So
Easy.
then you put out stuff like
easy.
She-Hulk, and you're like, what are we doing?
You got
What are we
She-Hulk
doing?
fucking twerking on like the 3rd episode of the show. It just doesn't
Hair doesn't
make
look
sense,
good.
you know?
Video
like, it just
games look
doesn't.
better than some of these Hollywood production CGI quality projects, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
video games
easy,
are looking
easy.
better. It's crazy.
No, yeah.
And you don't need it. This movie, Obsession, took place in how many settings? There was the job, the house, the party, the road.
And then the outside. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe a few
Which
other
they
spots,
could have,
tiny spots.
which they legitimately could have filmed the outside shots in a parking lot of a place that they had access to. Like you just wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. And I think that is the epitome of having YouTubers now branching out, getting deals, being able to make feature-length films and everything, because they went their whole lives making low-budget shit, and they get a certain amount of money where it's like, oh, $700,000 to us is astronomical. Like we,
For sure.
Normal people don't understand like how low of a budget that is for a movie. Like people just don't understand like that's a cheap ass movie. Like that's a cheap ass movie. And you get someone who has never had that kind of budget, who is able to sit there and be like, okay, with this budget, we can do this, 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 and this to make this a crazy, just a crazy good plot line, especially when you have YouTubers who are sitting there like, oh, we have like a $200 budget. Like everybody who's acting in this short film, they're doing it for free. They're doing it for free. All the money is just going.
Game, dude.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's essentially like kind of what we're doing. It's like you have black magic cameras, you got the lighting, you got this and that. It's like if we wanted to do a short film, all the money would just go to the people who are gonna act in it.
Yeah.
Like that's where all the money's gonna go. I mean, it's not going towards the set.
There are a lot of
You're
cases
just kind
where
of going
most
around
of
and
your-
hoping that people will let you.
What you're spending is just time. Sometimes that's all you have to pay is the time to do it. Sit down and like not rush or give up on a project that you're passionate about. It's just if you think this is good, you think that there's something here. Sometimes you just got to be willing to like work at it. I mean, Markiplier's movie, I've followed Markiplier for a long time. So I saw a lot of his updates. That movie, he finished, quote unquote, quote unquote finished a version of it after about a year of filming and was able to get it to the point where he could have produced it and uploaded it. But there was a lot of different things he wanted to get done that he was passionate about doing correctly. Certain CGI things he wanted to actually be better. Certain production rights he wanted to like be able to say like, no, I'm not going to be selling my movie to these different people to produce. Like I will put it out myself if I have to, if it means that I get to be more in control of my film. That whole process made his movie come out after 3 years. Like it took him a long time, but I'm telling you, dude, it's worth the wait. And dude, this whole spiral of YouTubers making movies lately. I know it's a YouTuber making the Backrooms as well, right?
Yeah.
Like this whole spiral of YouTubers making films, I think one of the reasons it's doing so well is because when YouTube came out, one of the reasons YouTube was so popular and beautiful was because there was infinite creativity allowed on the platform. Anybody could
Yeah.
make whatever they want. There was no limitations. People could just make something. It was kind of like Minecraft. They were just like, you can do whatever you want, film it, upload it, have fun. Now, YouTube these days is not that. These days, YouTube is very much ad driven and you have to make all these, corporate deals and all these whatever. But I think that a lot of the YouTubers these days that do have something to put out there in the world, like Curry Barker and Markiplier, and I don't unfortunately know the name of the guy who's making the Backrooms, but I think one thing that they have in the game is that they grew up with YouTube. They saw the potential that original, like OG YouTube had, where you had the platform to just put out something good and have people
Yeah.
experience it. It didn't have to be this whole like, MCU. There's a longer driven story in the background that if you didn't see this 4th movie in the saga, then the 16th movie in the saga, you're not going to understand it. It didn't have to be any of that. Movies, I feel like maybe you would agree or disagree with me. I don't know. I just feel like movies these days are so like, they don't take themselves seriously. They are just more of a cash grab, which is so sad because movies are just such a beautiful means of storytelling. We were just watching the clip of today that of the I don't remember what episode it was on, but we did the tribute to James Earl Jones and seeing some of his acting.
Yeah.
That just reminded me, just watching those scenes, of how much, animated movies could make on you. Performances on stage can do for people. Movies back in the day, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, like OG Star Wars or Star Trek for some people. Like, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm just so sad that movies have gotten to a point where it's not about the storytelling anymore. It's about
it's all about money.
It's all about money.
All about money.
And this movie felt like it was about the story.
Yeah. No, I think Curry Barker did such a good job staying true to, and again, it sounds low-key corny, but it's like staying true to the YouTube roots. Like staying true to the, like, I'm not making a story for money. I'm making a story that's gonna captivate people from multiple generations. You could have people like, say, our moms. They go and see that movie, who are going to relate, not necessarily on like every level of the movie, but are going to relate on like, oh, maybe I had a boyfriend in like, the 70s or the 80s that was super uptight and showed characteristics of this girl, Nikki. You have people who are our age where it's like, I've seen multiple people on fucking TikTok and on Instagram Reels and like all of this stuff where guys are sitting there saying like, oh, when you watch Obsession with your girlfriend, but nothing's different. And it's supposed to be a joke. It's there for, the likes and the reposts and the views and all that kind of stuff. But, you have someone who low-key understands on a certain level, like, oh yeah, this makes sense. You have the One Wish Willow and that's what started it. But you have people in the real world who genuinely do fucking act like this movie. There are people who genuinely are willing to kill or die for a singular person because they have no part of their lives where they feel okay with themselves. You know, they feel like they have to have a person there. They have to have a person who's all about them.
They're reliant
all the time, you know, like, and that's what makes the movie so relatable. Because I mean, I'm not going to say me or you have had the experience of having someone on that type of stalkerish level, but you can also relate to the fact that people take shit too far. You know, like they take shit too far, and that can cause way more trauma or events that happen within your life because of the fact that people just don't know how to live a life where they are not dependent on a person, you know. And I think, again, Curry really just made a really good movie depicting that didn't have to be like a very paranormal or superstitious or any type of movie,
made the movie
you know.
Horrible in a good way.
I was gonna say Kane Parsons is the guy who wrote The Backrooms that is now
gotcha,
directing the movie also as well.
I was gonna say one thing we haven't really touched on is how fucked up the guy is, Bear.
Oh yeah,
like we're talking about how crazy
he's the
obsessed
villain.
He's
the villain of the entire.
Absolutely, he did all of this to himself. He had many opportunities where he could have taken this to someone or spoken the truth or tried to fix it himself or whatever. But even, and again, spoilers, but even after so much crazy, unsettling shit happened with Nikki, there's that scene, where the freaky Nikki is asleep, but Nikki wakes up.
By the way, I love the fact that you call her Freaky Nikki for the scary part.
Yeah.
Because that's, she's free. There's Nikki and then there's
a
Freaky
Nikki and there's a Freaky Nikki.
Yeah.
There's that scene where Nikki is awake, but Freaky Nikki isn't. And she asks Bear, please,
it's like, please kill me.
She gave signs with the photo saying, not me, she was not in control. She didn't like who she was in this body anymore, but she had no means of coming back to who she used to be before Bear made the wish. And all she wanted was to have just release. She didn't want to be in this solitary mind prison anymore. And Bear's response was, what is so wrong about the idea of being with me?
Of being with me.
What are you talking about? That's crazy.
And it's crazy because not even that, but you have before that, he calls the fucking hotline number for the One Wish Willow. And he sits there and goes, well, how can I alter this wish? And the person on the line was like, do you wish to make a cancellation notice? And he was like, no. I don't want to cancel the fucking wish of having this girl obsessed with me. I just want to alter the wish and make her not really scary to me, and it is 100% a using situation. I mean, he uses Nikki from the very start. And we had talked about this right after we had watched the movie. We had sat there because for chat, we are the type of people where we watch a really good movie and then we leave the movie theater and then sit there in front of the theater and like discuss the movie for like a good hour to 2 hours. But after the movie, we sat there, and again, I had watched the movie already, and so I had a little bit like prior knowledge, and we were sitting there, and it's like, how could someone who claims like, oh, well, I love this person. This is the only person for me, type of thing. How do they sit there and make a wish, taking someone's free will away from them? Because that's ultimately what the wish was. It's like, she can't love anyone but me, type of thing. It takes someone's free will away. And then somehow that person doesn't understand the fact that that's what they asked for. You know, like his entire wish is like exactly what he asked for. And he sat there and still went to go cheat on her. You know, like that's the thing that's fucking crazy to me, is that on a real world level, there are so many people who are exactly like fucking Bear. There are so many people who are like that. Like, oh, well, you're not allowed to talk to this person, this person, this person, that person. You're not allowed to go out to parties. You're not allowed to dress like this. You're not allowed to act like this. You're not allowed to do this, 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 and that. But when I want to go and do it, that's a whole different fucking story. And why the fuck would you act this way when I talk to this person? You know, and in his case, this person is someone who has actively said to multiple people, yeah, no, I like this guy. Like, I romantically like this person, and I'm here for this person, and I really want this person to be in my life. And you sat there after, again, spoilers, like Joey said, after you have the real Nikki talking through freaky Nikki's body, saying, fucking kill me. You know, like she's asleep, don't wake her up, but kill me, because it's the only way I can get out of this situation. You went, this girl Sarah hit me up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go meet up with her at this park.
Oh yeah, meet up with her at the park.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
what makes that
like,
scene so
what
sick,
the actual shit,
is the fact that he's
Bear is the
acknowledging
villain
out loud that he understands and accepts that there's two of them. Because for
and
all
he
you know,
still was
if
willing.
you were
He
going
was still
through
willing.
this situation, you could chalk it up to, oh, she's crazy. She's talking in her sleep. She's done other crazy shit already. Maybe this is just some weird, like maybe she's finally like not the crazy her. It's actually just because she's tired. She's kind of acting like she used to act. No, he was acknowledging that he accepts that there's a new Nikki in the picture.
And he was still okay with,
And he was
fuck
still
it,
okay with
you know,
just
like,
well, you know,
whatever.
you could have just been with me, even though I never asked you out.
Yeah, even though I
You know?
never said I liked you, even though I never said I
You
want
asked
to be
me
with
to my
you.
face. Spoiler alert in the beginning of the movie. You asked me to my face, do you like me?
Do you
Now's
like
the
me?
time to tell me.
Yeah.
And I said
And
no.
you still didn't show shit because you're a little baby back bitch. Which, I mean, Bear, again, for anybody who watches the movie, you can agree. Bear is the fucking ultimate villain of the entire movie. Like, the entire movie. This man is the bad person. Nikki is not the bad person. She has no choice in the matter for what she goes through. And yet somehow she's the person that perishes through the whole fucking movie. You know, like, it's just so crazy to me. And I also sit there and think, like, did they name him Bear for the man versus bear debate, which we have had before on this podcast? Because multiple people have sat here and it's like, if you had to choose between a man versus a bear,
the man, or
I would choose the bear. I would choose the bear, you know, because man knows what they're doing, you know, like, And I just sit there and it's like, you know, you hear that as like, oh, that shit's crazy. But then you sit there and you watch a movie like this and then you wonder like, well, shit. He had every opportunity. He had every
Sometimes
single opportunity
not
to
every
do
villain
what
is
was
going
right.
to look like a
You
guy in
know?
a trench coat, you know. Sometimes
Yeah.
like the evil people
Sometimes
are
it's
the
someone you
ones-
work with.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
like no.
It's what made the movie so good. It
Yeah.
made it feel so real, so down
And there's
to
so
earth.
many open-ended questions
Mm-hmm.
that you can ponder upon, but you also know at the root of the movie what's going on. You know, it's not one of those where it's like you watch a movie for 2 to 3 hours, you end up with the movie not making any sense whatsoever, and then you sit there and you're like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those movies where you're like, the movie was short, sweet, to the point. I understand where they're going, but there's also other things that you can kind of look through, try to understand, try to make sense of. But at the end of the day, you also, you know, can't. It's just one of those movies where you really can't make sense of how fucked the situation is, you know? Yeah, I mean, again, like we've said before, I think Curry really just did a phenomenal job of
He hit it out of the
making a
park with
movie
this one, dude.
that you can't, you know,
This is the first movie
you
in a
can't
while
excuse.
that I've
You
wanted
can't
to,
excuse.
like, I've felt like I want to go back and watch it again in theaters before it's not in
No,
theaters
yeah.
anymore, you know, because a lot of movies have the problem of it's just not going to relay the same level of
Yeah.
crazy once it's
Yeah.
on a TV monitor rather than the
Yeah.
big screen in the dark.
Well, and I think part of that was even, and we've talked about it on the podcast before too, but with Undertone that just came out, Undertone was one of those, I mean, phenomenal in theaters. I think the story was very well crafted, while also taking aspects of movies that have already kind of been there. You know, it's not an original story. It's the way it's presented that makes it different. And the movie was a great movie. I mean, like, we both went and saw it. Again, I saw it twice in theaters. I saw it before we both saw it. But when we saw it, it's still just as unsettling. It's still one of those movies where you're like, what the hell? Like, what? You know,
Yeah.
like what was that? But I still don't think it compares to a movie like this where it's just, you have so many questions that were already answered. And you have to sit there and watch it, and you're just like, man, there's even more questions that I have. There's even more conclusions that I have than I had before. You know, I think Undertone was one of those, like, it was a great movie to watch in theaters. It was scary. There were jump scares. You had pretty much the trifecta of writing, jump scares, and production quality. But you watch something like that compared to, you know, Obsession, and it's just, you're like, fuck, dude, there's so many things I still need to understand. You know, like, there's so many things I need to know outside of
I'm trying
the
to see like what
basis,
other
you
movies
know?
have come out this year, or if any, or ones that are coming out this year, and if there's, I mean, obviously other than Doomsday, I feel like Doomsday and Spider-Man are obviously going to be some big heavy hitters for the cinematic world. But right
Yeah.
now, I mean, this
Horror
might be
is
my
topping
favorite.
the charts, dude.
This might be my favorite movie of the year so far for 2026. I really
No,
liked
yeah.
Iron Lung, but you can only do so much when the whole movie, and I don't know if you know this, but the whole movie takes place in one room. the whole movie, one set. There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
else, and so like it was good, well done to Markiplier. But I mean, like I'm trying to look at these other ones. Backrooms, I'm sure is going to be good. You saw Michael.
Yeah, yeah, I saw Michael. But
I haven't seen Michael.
I will say, for being a Michael Jackson fan for my entire life, which you already know, and we're not even going to dive deep into that because that's a whole other, like,
Yeah.
2-hour conversation. With as good as the Michael movie was, Obsession was still better.
Mm.
I mean, it was just the way, again, the way it's written, the acting, the practical effects. I mean, you know, I've
Yeah,
always
it
been a
just-
sucker
it's
for
so
practical
well
effects. I mean, it's a great movie overall. They just, across the charts, it just did great, you know? And like we talked about even before we started the podcast with the back rooms, with Kane Parsons, I'm really hoping the movie does well.
Mhm.
I'm really hoping it does
Aren't
justice
you
to what.
seeing Backrooms this weekend?
Yeah, I'm seeing it this weekend. But even with that, I don't know how you're gonna top something like Obsession. You know, I mean, it might be a really good movie for especially the fans. But with Obsession, you didn't have to be a fan of anything. You know, like you didn't
Yeah.
have to watch the Chair short film
To watch
to be
Obsession.
like
Yeah.
to be like, oh my God, like the same guy who did The Chair is gonna be the director. Like, I didn't fucking know it was the same guy until after I watched the movie the first time. And then I was like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now, you know? They've hyped up the back room so much of having the original writer and the director, where I'm just kind of like, you know, it could turn out either way. It could turn out really, really good, or it can turn out just very mediocre, you know? But Obsession was just one of those, like we've talked about before. The acting was really good outside of the writing. You know, like everyone who acted in it was such a really good actor, you know, an actress. The practical effects, they were great. The whole movie based off of just having practical effects. The low budget also, I think, made it really well. You know, like I think having the low budget really forced them to make the camera angles, make the writing, make the humor and everything revolve around the
to
fact
make
that
the
there
most out of
wasn't a
what they
really
had,
big
yeah.
budget, you know? I think that just did really well. The limited amount of press release for it, I think that also did really
it was
well. I mean,
weird. I mean,
you
I
pretty
didn't
much
hear
had the
much about it at
same
all.
trailer for everything, you know, like there was no first, second, third, fourth trailer for it. I mean, it was just kind of like, here's the small 30-second trailer, and then here's like the, say, 2-minute trailer. You know, like it wasn't something that was just overly drawn out. I think they just knew that, yo, we have a really good movie, you know, on our hands. We have a really good way of describing what's going to go on. We have a really good way of telling a story that's also going to stand the test of time as far as like any other stories that Curry writes and produces and like brings it into that. I just think it just all around, it was just a really solid movie, dude. Like
all
you
around,
know,
it was
it's
great.
crazy, you know?
It was great. By far, one of my favorite movies I've seen in a theater in a long time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know,
100%,
we nerd out
yeah.
about Spider-Man and all that stuff. I love the Marvel movies. I always have. But this made me feel like something in a theater that I haven't felt in a while, which was what I love feeling. I love feeling that surprise.
Well, yeah, and I think it makes you low key without being cringy. I think it makes you feel like a kid again. You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's one of those where it's just like you get a movie you don't really know much about, you go and see it, and it leaves a mark on you. You know, it leaves that mark, and it leaves that like, oh shit, like this was it. You know, like this is a really good movie, and I think, you know, younger kids don't really get that because I think they're spoon fed so much stuff going on. I mean, you know, they get trailer after trailer after trailer. Same thing with school. You know, you read one thing after another thing, and you're expected to kind of make the decision without making the decision that this is how the world works. This is what this is, you know? And I think cinema is a way to kind of challenge your brain and challenge you as far as like, oh, it's not what you expected it to be. And it requires you to use your brain and analyze like really what's going on. Taking understanding from multiple different things and just trying to do your best to grasp the concept, you know? And I think this movie did really well of doing that, you know? I highly recommend watching Obsession for sure.
Yes.
Even if you're not a horror person, it's not really a horror. It's a very unsettling movie for sure.
Yeah.
But I think anyone who's into writing or anyone who's into the space of film and media in general, I think this is just one of those movies you really have to
you have to experience.
you really have
it.
to watch, you know? You really have to watch, and you really have to watch in theaters.
I think this
we have to keep the cinema alive, you know?
Oh,
We
yeah,
have to keep
absolutely.
it alive, you know?
I think this episode of
dying breed.
Woodsmen is going to be coming out. We're going live, I believe, on their, 5th week after release? Because I think we're on the 4th right now.
Yeah. It's like the 4th or 5th.
4th or
something
5th.
like that.
So I think it'll still be out by the time this episode airs. Please, we can't recommend enough. If you haven't seen Obsession, it has the mark of approval from the Woodsmen. We fucking hands down fucking cinema, dude. It's fucking cinema. Absolutely.
No,
You think
100%.
You think Minecraft 2 is gonna beat it? Did you see that got announced?
Fuck Minecraft 1, dude.
Did you see who they announced is gonna be in it?
No,
as
I
playing
didn't.
Alex. Do you know that Alex is the girl skin?
Yes, I know who Alex is, Joey.
Do you know who's playing it?
No, I don't.
Kirsten Dunst.
Fucking course it is, dude. That's just crazy. You know, for someone who was on Minecraft before any of his homies were,
I feel disrespected.
they've done such a disservice to the franchise. They've really fucked it up. But you know, who am I to judge,
the first
right?
movie
Who
was
am
a
I to
great
judge?
family movie.
Nah.
A Minecraft
shit.
movie? Nah.
All right,
But
yeah.
if you
that's
just
fair.
if you wanted to go out and have a fun little, like, hey, let's get the fam and watch this goofy little Jack Black film, then yeah, I think it's fine.
always the Jack Black film. It's never a It's never a Jason Momoa film or some shit like that, you know. It's always got to be a fucking Jack Black film. Yeah.
Well,
Whack, whatever, you know. But again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, inquiries on Cabin 13 Productions or just the pod in general, you can always hit us up at cabin13productions@gmail.com. And if you, again, have any questions about the podcast or anything like that, you can always reach out at the Woodsmen Pod woodsmenpod@gmail.com. So, yeah.
Make sure, don't forget to check out our social medias too. Again, that's where we stay as inconsistent as we are on our upload schedule right now for our actual show.
Amen. Amen,
we
brother.
try to stay at least somewhat active on our actual socials. So make sure to check us out over there at Woodsmen Pod. That's where we keep everything's up to date for all of you. And don't forget to, as we said in the beginning, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all podcasting platforms. Rate us over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate all the downloads that we've been getting. We just passed 1,000 recently, and that was big deal. That was fun. Was it 1,000?
It's a big deal for
Or
us.
is it 100?
Yeah. Over 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we love it. Definitely, if you can, give us a 5-star on Spotify. I feel like that's the one where
We'd appreciate
everybody,
that.
if it's not YouTube, it's Spotify. Those are like our biggest platforms.
Yeah.
If you can give us a 5-star, that'd be great. If not, it's cool too. Just don't give us a 1-star.
Yeah. That's
That
all
would
we
suck.
ask.
Yeah. And then lastly, you can subscribe to our Patreon for our candid, uncensored show, Back to the Cabin, at patreon.com/The Woodsmen Podcast. And we've already talked about it. We're hoping to get episodes out.
We have an idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, other than that, we're your hosts, Brent Murphy.
And Joey Rucker.
And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
The Woodsman Podcast is actively reading and responding to anything and everything on Instagram and our email.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the show, or would like to possibly be on the show, you can email us at thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com.
Make sure to keep up with all things Woodsman related on Instagram and X at WoodsmanPod.
Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe to the Woodsman Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, with video exclusively on YouTube and Patreon.
Make sure to follow our personal accounts at Strange Kids and Piemaster J on all platforms. The Woodsman Podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker. Written by Brent Murphy, video editing by Joey Rucker, and blood, sweat, and tears by all of us.
Any additional content by the Woodsman Podcast may not be used without our permission. Copyright Cabin 13 Productions.
And remember,
go watch Obsession.